This issue of 9/11 magazine is dedicated to dreams. Patrick Dempsey discovers Sylt, a place for dreams. The legendary 956 goes on a journey in time back to an unforgotten age of racing triumph. Two brothers in the GDR dream of having their own Porsche and ultimately build one themselves. A 911 does the waltz, and Hans-Peter Porsche opens the doors of his DreamWorks. But first things first, off to the North Sea.
The element of ocean or water symbolically is emotion. The winds of change, the waves of your life, you have to embrace. Sylt is a place where you gain energy because you let go of all the trappings of our modern society. You don't want it. You just want to be present. And when you interact with people, I think they're all here in order to decompress. This is a place that has elegant, natural beauty. It's raw, it's pure, it's authentic. That's what gives it that timeless quality. What's beautiful about it is the simplicity. In a society where always bigger is better, here less is more, and there's greatness in that. There's a nice harmony between humanity and nature. And it's beautiful and sublime.
The legendary Group C. Introduced in 1982, this class of sports car prototypes paved the way for Porsche to post new racing records. Always out in front, the Porsche 956, with an air-cooled 2.6-liter turbocharged engine and 640 horsepower. The first racing car with an aluminum monocoque chassis and ground effect. The combination of an extremely efficient turbodrive system and a car body with revolutionary aerodynamics gave the 956 an extraordinary status for years. In its very first year, the sports car took the first 3 places at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. From 1982 to 1984, Porsche won all the titles in the FIA World Sports Car Championship for both drivers and manufacturers. The next year, Stefan Bellof clocked the fastest lap ever on the Nürburgring Nordschleife. From 1982 to 1984, Porsche won all the titles in the FIA World Sports Car Championship, but the highlight was the 24 Hours of Le Mans in 1983, when the Porsche 956 took the first 8 places. This achievement made the car an enduring object of dreams, even though the list of winners lacks just one minor detail. Behind this car lies an unbelievable story, because this Porsche was built in the GDR. The setting is Germany in the early 1950s. In the West, the vaunted economic miracle and shiny ads promise prosperity, travel, and freedom. In the midst of it all, the Porsche 356 emerged as Germany's first series sports car. In the East, by contrast, the socialist planned economy and rationing were the order of the day. Driving a Porsche was unthinkable. This is where the story of the 2 vehicle engineering students Falk and Knut Reimann begins. The brothers from Dresden wanted to drive a Porsche of their own and decided there and then to construct the car themselves. But how does one build a sports car in a country in which everything is rationed? The brothers set to work in their garage. Decommissioned war machinery would stand in. Taking the floor plate of a Jeep-style Kübelwagen and cable brakes, the brothers first built their chassis. The body was constructed of old truck hoods beaten into shape over thousands of hours of labor. But the engine was a problem. How was one supposed to procure a sports car engine in the GDR? This is where Porsche comes in. The brothers had traveled to Zuffenhausen and found an open ear in Ferry Porsche himself. After some initial skepticism, the two received a letter. To help you out of your predicament, we will be sending you a set of used pistons and cylinders as requested in the coming days. All we request in return is that you assume the shipping costs. We wish you pleasant driving with your homemade Porsche. The Reimanns were able to pick up their original Porsche parts at a dealership in West Berlin. They then smuggled the pistons and cylinders over the border in a dramatic cloak and dagger foray. Back in Dresden, the two used a VW Beetle engine as their base and modified it into a passable sports car engine with the Porsche parts. In 1954, the car was finally ready to roll. The Reimann twins drove clear across Europe at speeds of up to 130 kilometers per hour, with just one driver's license which they both shared and sporting an invalid license plate, but happy as clams in their dream sports car.
Wir 4 Brüder, wir haben ja so eine schöne Jugend gehabt. Wir haben früher in der Familie sehr gern gespielt. Wir haben ja damals überhaupt keinen Fernseher gehabt. Das hat es überhaupt nicht gegeben. Wir haben die Schulaufgaben gemacht, wenn wir sie gemacht haben. Und dann waren wir weg und haben gespielt. Der Spieltrieb ist in mir drin und wenn ich heute durch meine Anlage gehe, durch das Traumwerk, glitzern die Augen und die Freude kommt auf. Die Eisenbahnanlage ist 365 Quadratmeter groß. Es sind ungefähr 180 Züge auf der Anlage und die Schienenlänge ist 2,7 Kilometer. Ich wollte gar nicht Ingenieur werden. Ich glaube, das war von der Familie aus irgendwo bei mir dann im Hinterkopf, du musst Ingenieur werden, weil dein Vater ist Ingenieur. Aber wie ich die Anlage gebaut habe, da war ich der fröhlichste Mensch. Für mich, ich bin jetzt 77, muss ich sagen, das ist was ganz Besonderes. Die Spielsachen, die damals entstanden sind, das war wirklich das Feinste vom Feinsten. 450 große Kisten habe ich gehabt, wo die ganzen Sachen drin waren. Und dann habe ich zu meinem Sohn gesagt, wir können doch nicht die ganze Sache in Kisten lassen, wir müssen doch das zeigen. Ich habe etwas geschaffen, mit eigener Hand, vom Herzen gebaut und das dürfen jetzt andere sehen. Das gibt mir so viel, das kann ich gar nicht beschreiben.
I'd like to bring in my fans with me. They travel with me. Come on over, get on stage.